There you go. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over. Don't look at my history. Goal is to basically create a tier list on who is the better character out of everyone, right? Amber at the absolute bottom is garbage. Exactly. So with that being said, we're gonna put her on the D slot because she's garbage.
Know your fucking place, trash.
It's Amber. Why would you put Amber anywhere but the bottom? Please tell me a good situation where you can put Amber. Please, I'd like to know. Where would Amber be the strongest? Is a genuine question. Like, where was she useful in everything? Ningguang. Ningguang's actually kind of tricky. Hi, Geronimo, what's up? So Ningguang's actually kind of tricky because she is a good DPS and she is also a good support. Like, she is one of those 4-star supports that you can actually recommend. I do think she does place in S tier. If not, lowest should be A tier. What do you guys think? I truly think that, like, she has good DPS if you build her right, and she also has good support if you build her right. I also feel like she's the type that, like, she's Geo, so there's really nothing she's weak to, and she can be used across all parties. She can mix very well with any of the other characters that you see here, especially if they're burst characters and you need shields and stuff. She's also really good at creating shields too. Very consistently. She does not need to she doesn't like need to like use her power every time. Like, she literally can just leave her barrier there and she can focus on DPS or something else. She also has heals in her ult if you build it right. You can do the her barrier, and then you can do her ultimate, and then her ult actually gives back, I think, twice with heals. So it's kind of worth it, I feel, especially if you are lacking in a healer. And you need a healer to kind of like keep up in certain quests and missions. So I do think she is S tier. So I'm going to put her in S tier. This one, again, just because she works well. Like, for me, S tier really means that you can work extremely well. You can flex between like the different positions, you could say. Like, I guess you could say is like you could flex between back and forth on a lot of the parties that you can build, where she doesn't have to be just one specific role or anything like that. And I think that's really important when we're looking at the two top tiers, because not only is it important to know about your 4 stars, but it's also important to know what characters go where in your party, right? So you don't want to just take just who you like. You want to make sure you build them together and you actually put them together. So I am putting that with that. Then the next one we're going to do is Noelle. So Noelle's actually kind of tricky. I wouldn't put her specifically in the D slot, but I definitely wouldn't put her up past C or B. Because compared to the other Claymore users, I think she's definitely the weakest and she lacks quite a bit. I think that Noelle has this thing where, like, you're not even using her ability most of the time because it's a shield. The only time it's actually being used as damage is when she actually brings out the ultimate sword, and I think that as a Claymore user, you kind of need more, and she doesn't even fit the budget or the properties of an actual Geo user, when it comes down to when she doesn't fit the properties of like an actual Claymore user, because she's actually struggling to get damage. Compared to the other Claymore users, they're actually like dishing out damage in addition to their abilities. So I don't think that Noelle really does that at the moment. And no matter how you build her, she's gonna struggle. Sure, she has a shield, but that shield doesn't stay too long compared to like Zhongli's shield, where he's actually creating a jade shield, he's actually creating a normal shield. And then again, in addition to that, like her DPS output doesn't really match to it. So I feel like she goes in the C tier. Why would you like Amber? You stan Amber? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So Chichi, this one's my favorite part because I absolutely adore Chichi. Chichi is DPS mixed with heals. I do not put her top tier though, unless we're strictly talking about heals. But since we're talking about overall composition, I definitely put her as an S tier. She is a good DPS person, especially when you have an elemental burst or bursts, and you focus your build on just elemental. And she gives and dishes out healing better than Barbara. She is most definitely the best healer. She can do probably 20k in healing with just one hit, I think. Not only that, she is just a good overall party healer. Which is super important when you're fighting like bosses. Like the reason I survived Dragonspine so well without ever like freezing to death, except like 1 or 2 times because I wasn't paying attention, is because Chichi was able to heal me. And even when she was fighting monsters that are healers, she was still dishing out enough damage that I could at least keep her there, and I can keep actually healing my other team so that they can be ready to fight. So Chi-Chi's capable of healing like your entire party within literally 20 seconds of after using her ability. Not to mention her ult does a really good job at applying pressure, but like to everybody, like crowd control. So definitely Chi-Chi should belong in the in the S tier character. I don't think she's I don't think she's always the best, because again, you have to kind of like also factor in the party people that she needs to be around of. If she's not in a good like party setup, you're literally just using her for heals, and sometimes that's not really ideal, especially if you're going for bosses that are tougher. Like if you're going for the Anemostasis or the Geostasis or even the Wolf, it doesn't really help that you're not having like an actual good composition, because she needs to be closer. So Razer, I do feel like he kind of belongs in A tier now with all the characters that have come out. He's not a necessary Claymore user. And I quite honestly think that he is not as good. He's good, but I think Badu is better. I think that Badu and him are in the same category, but I definitely think that Badu is the better one. And the reason I say that is because he has a weird ult. He has two abilities. Razer is actually a 5-star character. Is he though? I used to think that, believe me, I used to think that, but then I've seen like how 5-star characters can do damage, especially if they're Claymore users. And then of course I see Badu, and I'm just like, the thing about Razer is that his build is very good on crit. You can put him on damage, but I feel like there's not enough to like really support it. He has the wolf thing as his ultimate, and it works, but it's such a limited ultimate that unfortunately it really doesn't stay too long. Like if you change, it doesn't stay, and then if you stay on it, you're kind of forced to like just keep on it there. So I don't really recommend it unless you have characters that leave like setups, and then you can switch to him. Composition wise, I've wanted to keep him in my party, but I've yet to find an actual good reason to keep him in my party. That's why I think he's A tier. He's not bad, but he's definitely not nowhere near like Ningguang and Chichi are. And he's not bad of a character to the point where it's like Noelle and Amber. He's a very good 4-star character if you're just pulling 4 stars. Razer ult is very limited compared to Ganyu. Exactly. It's a very limited ult that if you definitely switch, you're kind of stuck with it, and you kind of don't want to be stuck with it. So we're going to move on to Sucrose. So I'm actually going to put Sucrose in S tier. I haven't experienced her S tier. Genshin, new to Genshin, honestly, any suggestion on how I should be playing it? We can get to that, actually. Let me finish on Sucrose, and then I can explain to you a little bit about Genshin and how we play it. Yeah, so Razer definitely falls under that mark. He's a defined character that, like, if he's on the field, you want him to stay as long as on the field, which is why his composition with other characters is really difficult. You kind of need to set him up with either support characters or with setup characters, because you're not going to get much value off of him if you're constantly switching. Sucrose is a 4-star venti, and I truly do believe that that is very true. I actually released a guide in my Discord about her just recently, and I truly do believe that she is the 4-star wind or animo character, um, that can play like a 5-star. I really do think that she's a character that is meant to encourage burst damage. So what I mean by that is, like, if you have conditions already set on your monsters, you definitely should be using sucrose to kind of like amplify that damage and cause more conditions. Her swirl ability is really good, that I feel like you should be using her. She should be included in your party. She should be, if you got her recently and you're still before rank 40, I highly recommend you should level her up, because again, she's the 4-star venti. She does enough where she can help create conditions. She has plenty of constellations too, which I really liked about her. And I think it's really important too that, like, you really build her up, and she's, I think, a necessary part um in your party composition. So I do agree with it. I do accept. Child, I actually put on SS tier. Child works with anybody, and on top of that is capable of, when being built right with the correct artifacts and weapons, able to actually one shot a boss. And that shit's crazy. There's one more category above SS. It's called Venti. We'll get, once we talk about Venti, we'll talk about that, Carla Milton. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying this. So I think Child actually belongs in the SS category. This character does amazing shit. To be honest, I'm kind of always surprised by this character. Apart from being one of the best bosses in the game, I also think that he is a character that if you have him, you have to use him. It doesn't matter what your composition is, he's gonna fit right in, and that's really important for an SS character. Like, literally, he's one of the best ones you could get. You want him on your team. I think I did skip him. I didn't know what type of character he was in at the time, but after seeing him in action in some of the events, especially when I was co-oping, he's definitely a really good character. He is actually one of the 5-stars that, like, a lot of people were really happy about. What's crazy about him too is I think he's a bow and arrow, but he has a spear, so he's literally a hybrid of a character, and everything revolves around his damage from his abilities and ultimates, which is, again, something that's really important when you're building characters, especially with artifacts, is that you want to know what artifacts work well with your character, and Child just does a really good job being built easily to gain what you want from him. Traveler, I don't like the Geo Traveler. I hate the Geo Traveler, to be honest with you. The only time I find a Geo Traveler to be useful has been to get the Geoculus or the Geoculi, and if I have Zhongli and their Geo, helping with the elemental burst. I actually do put Traveler at D. I could put them at C, but the thing is that, like, I see Traveler as, like, just not that needed character. I see Traveler as a character, like, unless they introduce in Pyro or Electro or in Deandro or even Cryo a better form of Traveler, I don't think they're a useful pick. I think they're only meant to be good if you have a free character and you're a free-to-play account. If it is a free-to-play account, you should always keep them at Anemo. I don't think you should go to Geo. I think Anemo is a better position and a better element as of right now. Again, if it changes where Electro, Hydro, Cryo, or D'Angelo are actually better than the Geo and the Anemo, absolutely. Build on Elemental Mastery in your set. Again, if it's Anemo, I wouldn't even waste my time building based on Elemental Mastery. I just don't see the use for it. And I see the compositions kind of like so like eh. Like, I see Traveler as just a space to keep for free to play. That's really my opinion on it. I also see Traveler too, like, there's just too many, there's too many better Geo characters to do what Traveler is doing. Both DPS and support-wise, because a lot of people like to think, oh, well, it's Geo, it must be a good elemental, but, like, Geo is really meant to be a supporting type role. Same thing with Hydro. Hydro's meant to be sort of like a supporting type. But even then, it's like, the characters help. But Anemo, if it's Anemo, yes. If it's Geo, no. But because of that, like, constant alteration, I put it also on D. Because Barbara, I see her as a B tier. And that is because I did do his story quest. I just haven't touched him as, like, I have him consistently. Like, he's one of the 5 stars I'm missing. So Barbara, I actually kind of think that she belongs in B tier. And the reason I think that is just there's 2 better characters now that are better at healing than she is. And that is Chichi and 3, because Jean's a healer, I think. So that is Chichi, that is Diona, and then there's Jean, that is also a better healer. Oh, and Bennett too. So that's already 4. So that's why I think she belongs in the B tier. If you have her, great. If you don't, you're really not missing out, because she has heals, but I truly think that the other characters that we're going through right now are better in comparison. Plus they have, I'm the type of person that I love damage. So as long as there's enough damage, I want to have it. I definitely want to have more damage on it. Oh, Isaac Rural. That's that dude that died.
I figured we'd have found the bus driver by now. Wonder where he's at.
Oy, coño. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. I kind of fucked up, didn't I? This is how he died. Oh shit, the knife. It's the knife. No. Stop that, you piece of shit. I swear to God, if I die here, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Finish her.
Get Sonic, bitch!